Hello and welcome to the Spicy Challenge video all about figurative counting. This is an example video full of activities designed to give you an idea of ways to practice your counting at home with a grown-up. You may recognise some of these activities from the blue seal planner that you use with your teachers in school. Okay, so for this first activity and for quite a few of the other ones afterwards, I'm going to be using two collections of counters. Now, I'm lucky enough to have these counters that are nicely laid out. They're all the same size and they're all the same colour, but you could use anything you have at home, different types of coins, different types of pasta shells, anything really, so that you can have two collections of different counters that are all separate from each other. Now, I've also got here my screen. I'm going to use just simply a whiteboard that we have here in the classroom that can cover the counters. But again, you could use a piece of paper. In a pinch, you could simply cover them, or your grown-up could cover them with their hand. Anything essentially to make sure that one or more of the collections can be screened from view, so that although you're told what might be under there, you can't actually see what's under there. This is what's going to help you with your figurative counting in order to be able to count objects that you know are there, but you can't necessarily see in the concrete in the real terms. So, for this first activity, I am going to show you two different collections of counters, okay? 5 green and 4 red. I'm then going to screen one of the collections. So, me or your grown-up will ask you, 5 here and 4 there, how many all together? And you'll think about it. And my strategy here would be to know that I said that there were 5 under here. So when I start counting here, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 all together. Might be then a good idea to check. And your grown-up might let you check as well. We can check now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Spot on. To give you another example, we're going to change around our collections. Now I've got 3 green and 6 red. I'm going to screen my collection of greens. 3 under here, 6 here. How many altogether? So we're going to use that same strategy. We know that there are 3 under here, so when we count, we're going to count 1 from 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we put 9 again. Are we sure? Would we like to check? The answer is always yes. It's great to check. So let's check now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 altogether. So, for this next video, we are going to use exactly the same equipment as in the last activity, 2 separate collections of counters and a screen. And the only thing that we are going to change is the counters that we screen. We're going to screen our second collection, which is going to change our counting strategy, make it a little bit harder, but it's also a really useful one to practice. So, I know that I've got 4 green here and 4 red here. And your grown-up will tell you, 4 green, 4 red. How many all together? And this time I'm going to count the greens first. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know there's another 4 under here. And so I might make use of my fingers, or I might tap to work out. So 4 there, and then another 4 here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 all together. We're going to check, always have the chance to check. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We were correct. Now, I'm going to show you another example. We're going to change around the collections. So now I've got 5 green here and 3 red here. Again, I'm screening that second collection. Okay, I know that we said possibly 5 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 there. And I know that there were 3 red under here. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 again, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a harder strategy to use, but will be useful if you keep on practicing. Okay, our next activity uses, again, same equipment, 2 separate collections of counters, the screen, except this time we are going to be screening both. So, we know that behind here we have 6 green counters and 2 red counters. Your grown-up will tell you how many there are, so 6 green, 2 red, and then ask how many altogether. And this is a real challenge and uses both of the counting skills that we have already practiced in the other 2 activities. So the first thing we need to think of is we have 6 under here, so we're going to start at 6. Then we're going to think how many more were there? There were 2, so we need to get 6 in our head and count up 2. So 6, and we can use fingers or just use it in our heads. 6, 7, 8. 8 altogether. Your grown-up will ask, do you want to check? And the answer is always yes. So we're going to check our answers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do another example, this time with a few more reds and a few less greens. So again, screening both collections. So you can't see any. And the grown-up will tell you, I've got 4 greens and 5 reds. Really challenging. 4 greens, 5 reds. So I know that underneath here we start with 4. And I'm going to have to count on 5. Or, thinking about it, it might be easier. I know there are 5. I could start on the higher number 5, and then I only have to count on 4. Always a good idea. You can switch them round. So 5. Count on 4 more. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. We'll check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Spot on. Of course, if you wanted to make this the same activity but slightly easier, you could simply make it so that there are less counters. Of course, if you want to make it more challenging, you can add in counters, but try to only keep 1 set of counters as a really large amount. As soon as you start getting 2 large amounts, it can get quite tricky to keep track of without the visual aids. Okay, and for our final activity, we have something a little bit different. This is an activity that's going to be best done on a piece of paper, but we've blown it up large so that you can get a better look and understand what you and your grown-up need to do. So, I have drawn out a row of dots, 20 of them, and I have placed a marker over one of the dots. Okay, I know, and your grown-up will know, that this dot is number 11. It is the 11th dot. And what your grown-up and what I'm going to do is place a small screen, okay, from my place, just a piece of paper. Your piece of paper might be smaller, it might just be a hand, whatever works, over the next couple of dots, okay? So, now I know this dot is number 11. There are 2 underneath my screen, and I'm going to ask, what number is this dot? And so now we're going to have to look and think. That's number 11, 2 under here, so count up 2. So 11, 12, 13, so this dot must be dot number 14, and if we remove the screen and check, that's 11, 12, 13, 14. We were absolutely correct. And this is easily repeatable. If you place markers or draw little arrows next to other dots, simply cover up the dots after them, and it will really work on your figurative counting forwards along the number line, and therefore help you to count all the more thoroughly and better. That is the end of our video. If you found this to be relatively straightforward, then that's fantastic. Please go and check out our extra spicy counting video to progress you even further. But this is the kind of activity that it's a good idea to spend a long time practicing each of the different techniques. So if you need more time, really just consolidate that figurative counting. Do not worry a jot. And as always, let us know how you get on.